Some parents raise their children in a very strict environment. They give their kids a long list of chores around the house, depending on how old they are, and the kids have very little playtime. But if those parents knew how much play would benefit the mental and emotional states of the child, maybe they would encourage it more. Research has shown that play benefits children in a large variety of ways. It aids in language development, social interactions, creativity, thinking skills, motor abilities, general intelligence, and even brain growth. And when it happens during childhood, it is taking place at the peak time for fundamental cognitive development. Welcome to Leela's Academy. Leela's is an elementary school, but it is not just any elementary school. Leela's specializes in developing a child's cognitive abilities by providing several types of play through their school day. The principal of Leela's, Mrs. Marcia, has come to appreciate the growing amount of research that play is not only fun for children, but can significantly affect their mental and emotional growth. She has therefore implemented 5 types of play into her school classes. They include motor or physical play, social play, constructive play, fantasy play, and games with rules. Today we're going to observe what happens at Leela's on a daily basis while the principal shares with us the benefits of each type of play. First stop is art class. Mrs. Marcia starts talking with us. Here we will watch the children as they demonstrate constructive play, or play that involves creating and building with different materials. It teaches children how to apply trial and error and how to use materials together. It also helps their self-esteem as they feel accomplished after a task is complete. The second stop is gym class. We see a group of 7-year-olds running to a line and touching it, then picking up a ball and throwing it to another person. Mrs. Marcia says, motor or physical play includes various physical exercises that are more than just fun. They also strengthen muscles and integrate them with nerve and brain function. In other words, they help develop the body and tone the brain. Next up we have recess. We watch as the kids hang out on a small jungle gym and swing. This is a time when we let the kids engage in social play, says Mrs. Marcia. Social play is about interacting with other kids in a social setting. This is a good way for kids to learn how to create social skills, be considerate, and take turns. We also see a teacher going over to a few girls who are pretending to play house. She provides what she later tells us is guided play by pretending to eat the meal the mother had just cooked and asking questions about the household. When children are guided into playing make-believe, it encourages them to think creatively and connect their thinking with emotions, Mrs. Marcia tells us. Third stop is English class. The teacher is guiding the group of students into telling a story. Each child comes up with a few sentences about the story, one after another. The teacher turns to us and says, "This is what's called fantasy play." Children use their imaginations to come up with new scenarios and ways of working together. Fantasy play can also be used as pretend play, which we see clearly demonstrated with a girl who holds a tea party and serves her guests make-believe tea and cookies. Our last stop is social studies. The students are playing a game where they stand in a line, and the teacher asks questions about what he just read to them. The child who knows the answer has to raise his or her hand first. They have 2 shots, but if their second answer is incorrect, they have to sit down. The person left standing will get a cupcake. Games with rules are important, Mrs. Marcia states, because they teach children about life. Just as there are rules to follow in a game, there are also rules in life. It teaches them how to be cognizant of these, disciplined to follow them, and aware they do so in order to cooperate with others. Let's review. Research has shown that play can have a significant impact on the healthy mental and emotional development of children. It increases language development, social interactions, creativity, thinking skills, motor abilities, general intelligence, and brain growth. There are several different types of play, each of which benefit children in different ways. They include pretend play, where the child uses his or her imagination to interact with objects and events, motor or physical play, which involves physical exercise, social play, which involves social interactions with peers, constructive play, which involves creating or working with raw materials, fantasy play, or what might be classified as pretend play, which uses imagination to create stories, and games with rules, which includes structured play with guidelines.